As many of you know, my wife Dee, who is our liturgist for today, and myself resided very close to the Canadian border where Dee is from for 10 years, north of Plattsburgh in the very northeast corner of New York. Our joke that I've shared before is we got Chinese takeout from Canada. We're so close to the border. And being in that community, the Moors, M-O-O-E-R-S, New York area, in the Moors United Methodist Church, is a place where everybody basically knows everyone else. And it wasn't uncommon when we would be driving down the road and Dee or her parents or someone I knew would say, well, so-and-so lives there, or so-and-so used to live there, because you knew where people lived, because they were in the community for a very long time on certain roads. And in the community of Moors in northern Clinton County, there was a Thanksgiving meal. And this meal was a joint effort of churches and community members, Roman Catholic Church, Wesleyan Church, and the United Methodist primarily. And on the monitors before you is an article that appeared shortly before the meal that occurred in 2011. Now, before the meal in 2011, the churches came together, and a couple from the Roman Catholic Church, Barbara and Dick, always cooked the turkeys, and then we helped deliver them and supply pies and such. But Barbara and Dick had decided to retire, and we were wondering how we were going to get the 100 or so meals delivered and served to people. So we decided we would have people cook turkeys in their home and deliver them to the Methodist Church, and then they could either come and eat there or we would deliver them. And this article appeared in the newspaper. And this is from the Moors United Methodist Church, and it was a joint service. There was people there from St. Mary's Roman Catholic Parochial School, which we were doing a project with, and you can see Sister Cordata in the back, and I'm in the back there too. And it said, well, people work together, and if you want to come out for this meal, you can come out and join in this Thanksgiving meal. Now, it so happens that a year or so before this particular meal in 2011, another local church in the north of Plattsburgh had done a meal like we do, like churches often do, and someone didn't cook the sausage quite through for the turkey dressing. And the local health department was not happy because a lot of people ended up in the emergency room with problems because they ate undercooked sausage. And I can understand that. It's not a good thing when people have to go to the emergency room. But however, the local health department officials decided we're going to dot all the I's and cross all the T's on all the nonprofit suppers henceforth. So, however, they had said, when they came and told us about this, they said, you know, if you give the food away, which of course we did for Thanksgiving, like we did here last night, you know, we're really not a big deal if you're going to give it away, because you know, you're not charging anything for it. But they saw this article in the paper, and the verbal, we're not going to make it such a big deal. No, got a call on the phone from the health department. Can't do that. Can't have a free Thanksgiving meal. So, what do we do now? Well, called the local county assembly person, got 2 or 3 more articles in the paper. One of them, I think, was entitled "The Grinches That Stole Thanksgiving." I got interviewed on the local television station. My 30-second claim to fame, you know, I made it on television. Woo-hoo. So, but anyways, we weren't weren't able to have the Thanksgiving meal. They weren't going to relent. They say that it's a statewide law, but it is my experience, having now served in other nonprofits and other areas, that some of the health departments don't seem to be a little bit more graceful when it comes to dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's. But no matter, I do understand the principle. So anyways, what were we going to do about Thanksgiving in this community and the 100 people that were looking forward to it? Well, Dee, as she is now, and as she was then, is a teacher in a school district, obviously a different school district. And she contacted a lot of her colleagues, and we contacted people in the church. So we cut out the church for the eating, and we connected family to family. So a teacher and their spouse delivered a turkey and the fixings to a family in need. And it worked out pretty good, because remember, this is communities where everybody kind of knows where everybody lives, and a little easier to know who's in need and stuff. And then we, I get really, really hungry on Thanksgiving, and I just really, really love turkey. And wouldn't you know it, they delivered about 10 turkeys to our house. How more blessed could they be? So, with all those turkeys, we just said, well, we can't eat it all. We invited some people to come over and get turkey from our house. It wasn't at the church. It was at the parsonage, the rectory, behind the church. Big sign on the church. Dinner canceled. Come around to the house. And there was a local attorney. And he didn't like what was happening. And he said, here's $500. Go get some free meals at a local restaurant. And some people got to have Thanksgiving meal at a local restaurant. And some of those people had tears in their eyes because they never had eaten at a restaurant and never thought that they were going to be able to take their family and their children to a restaurant for Thanksgiving. So the moral of the story to me is, when we live out this scripture, when we live out being a community of faith, giving thanksgiving for what we have, maybe sometimes coloring outside of the lines and being willing to take a risk. I shared a quote last week. Growing churches believe that they can. It's that simple. And even if they're wrong, even if they try a dinner and it doesn't work, because the health department says, no, at least they tried. And the mission is important enough. The mission of sharing God's love in Christ, of returning thanks, is important enough to take some risk. Risks were taken, phone calls were made, people were served, and everyone had a great Thanksgiving. And the Grinch did not steal the turkey. Amen?
Amen.
Amen. Thanks for listening.